Well, hello friends, and welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado, where I separate the truth from bullshit, facts from fiction, in plain English. Today I have an exciting announcement to make. I know that a lot of you have been following and waiting for this to happen. It's going to be a special video today. I think it's going to make a lot of huge impact in injured workers and their families throughout this province. And I'm very excited to share that with you today. So let's get at it. Well, hello friends. You know, you've heard me say on this channel many times over the past almost 2 years since I started this channel. That the WSIB has declared war on injured workers. I've been doing this business for over 30 years, fighting the WSIB, dealing with the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal on a daily basis. I know how they function intimately, very familiar with the laws. And for as much as I've experienced over the past 30 years in terms of just how negative an impact this organization has had on people's lives, I got to tell you, it's over the past couple of years, it's far worse than I've ever seen it. And I'm sure a lot of you who've been around can agree with that. And I'm a person that deals in facts. I like to know what happens, why it happens. And when you're dealing with a public organization such as the WSIB, they're required to provide annual reports and financial statements so the public can view them. And every year I get them and I go through them. I take my time to see where they're improving, where they're failing. And I don't see any improvements. For those of you who like that kind of information, you can just go on their website and search for their annual reports, and you can go as far back as the late 1980s. It's a really bad picture. Record levels of denials, overruling doctors, and they've sort of done this over the years, but for the better part, they had their own internal medical consultants, so they tried to kind of soften the blow, but they don't really have that now. They just have case managers and eligibility adjudicators who overrule doctors all the time. These are people who have absolutely no medical skills whatsoever, trying to play doctor with your life in terms of life-changing decisions, which leads me to the next, which is denying treatment. In most cases without basis, forcing injured workers to return to work against their doctor's advice. And I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this. They just basically shut down. They don't want to hear a damn thing you or your doctors have to say. They just want to get you off the books, back to work. You can't fight them on your own. I got to tell you, I've talked about this often, and I've done a couple of videos on this. You can't fight these people on your own. If you're way in over your head, if you think you can. And I'm not trying to put fear into you, but I know the majority of you watching this channel and that have watched this channel over the past 2 years, you know that. I get the comments all the time. I get the emails. I get the hundreds of requests of people looking for help. And that's because you can't fight these people. You just can't, unless you know the laws and you know how they work better than they do. And as you know, that's one of the reasons why they hate me so much. But anyway, I know that they're not ready for this. This is something that I've been working on over the past, it's about 3 years in the making, really. Very meticulously putting the steps in place to get to this point. 3 years ago, I started with WSIB Settlements, then I created this YouTube channel, and this is the third phase of our expansion, which is to provide something that injured workers have really not had access to ever. We call it LegalPro Connect. It's part of our app. It's part of the services that we provide. And this is developed as part of a very lengthy and meticulous look at what's going on with the system. What are some of the gaps in the community that injured workers feel that they're not able to get what they need? So filling some of those gaps and being able to not just even the scales, but I believe as we grow this, tip the scales in the favor of injured workers when dealing with this organization. And trust me, they've never had to deal with anything like this before. So LegalPro Connect, it has various really incredible features. But basically, it's a way for us to connect injured workers who require help with their WSIB claims with the right lawyer or paralegal. We started the program about 6 months ago to do some testing to make sure that it was flowing properly, and it has been. We're very happy about the results and how there's a seamless transition between WSIB Settlements and lawyers and paralegals. These lawyers and paralegals are part of our preferred legal provider network. And this network is growing fast, and we want to make sure that we are able to provide injured workers with legal help, whether it be a paralegal or a lawyer who's experienced, knowledgeable in their community to help them with their claim. And there are so many benefits for injured workers. Trying to find a good lawyer or paralegal to help you with your claim is not easy. It requires research, whether you do it online or you ask people in the community if they know of a lawyer or paralegal who works in this type of industry. You can also look on the internet. There's various groups where lawyers or paralegals are part of those groups. But really, the way we wanted to set things up is we want to make sure that we're at the forefront of that. And so we created our own preferred legal provider network, where these lawyers and paralegals who have been vetted by us, a lot of them I've known for over 30 years, or I've known of them. I built the largest paralegal firm in Ontario with over 10,000 clients. So we were spread out all over the province, from Thunder Bay to Ottawa, Windsor, and Fort Erie, and everywhere in between. So we really want to be able to provide injured workers who need help now with options, so that they're not restricted to one particular way of doing things. And I'll give you an example. When a worker looks to us for help, we provide one of three options. The first one is we provide a free case assessment. So you fill out a questionnaire that we have online, easy to fill out. And based on those responses, we're able to assess the situation, reasonably assess, depending on how much information we have, and then provide some recommendations. The next option is to provide, very popular, the WSIB case audit with prepared submissions. And this is something that we provide in-house at WSIB Settlements, where it involves a very in-depth review of the case, including the file, looking at all of the areas that were allowed or not allowed, whether they were appropriately dealt with by the WSIB, whether the appropriate section of the law was applied, or the appropriate policy. The WSIB has three major laws that have been implemented over the last 40 plus years. So knowing those laws and knowing how to look for certain situations is an asset. We have the expertise to be able to do that, and then prepare submissions to try and avoid lengthy appeals and hopefully resolve the issue with a request for reconsideration, but not just a request asking for the WSIB to reconsider a previous decision, but a well thought out, well presented argument to demonstrate that benefits should be allowed within that particular situation or those issues that we've identified in the audit. So that's number 2. Number 3 is you can have a referral to a preferred legal provider right off the bat. And so we offer those 3. And not everybody requires the same level of service, and you shouldn't have to pay for something that you don't really need. So we've created a program that allows injured workers to obtain the level of help they require at a reasonable cost, and also to have a legal referral, a seamless referral from our office to one of our preferred legal providers with preferred rates as well. I know that a lot of lawyers and paralegals in the industry charge a variety of different rates, some of which I have a real issue with them. And I can tell you they're not going to find themselves on our network. It's just not going to happen because I didn't go into this business to hurt injured workers. I went into this business to help them. And so we want to make sure that we do that. So our preferred legal provider network will be there to help injured workers to deal with their issues, no matter how extensive they are, all over the province. And well, they say that there's power in numbers, and the WSIB has never been able or have never had to deal with this type of a situation. But they're about to find out what it's all about. We've created a very simple process. It's easy to use. You can download our app, put it on your smartphone, your laptop, tablet, your desktop computer. We have some very unique tools there that will help you as we help you with your case, and also your preferred legal provider in the event that your case goes to a hearing at the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeal Services Division or the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. And of course, these legal providers are experienced in dealing with the WSIB and the Workplace Safety and Insurance Appeals Tribunal. One of the other features of our LegalPro Connect is that these lawyers and paralegals will also be able to help you with your Canada Pension Disability appeal or application, long-term disability issues, whether you're looking for long-term disability or the insurance company is looking to cut you off, they'll be able to help you with that. Also wrongful termination situations, human rights complaints, and we are continuing to add other areas of law that we find that our members need and that we want to be able to provide them so that we're a one-stop network for individuals who require legal help. But for the next few months, we're going to continue to grow and expand our network to focus on those areas and thereafter expanding on others. And I can tell you that the fourth level of our expansion will be across Canada. So we already are in development for that and in discussions with different groups across Canada with different provinces so that we can provide that level of service to them as well. So it's been something that's been well thought out. It's been a pleasure putting all of this together because, as you know, anytime that I have an opportunity to stick it to the WSIB and to help you get what you're entitled to receive, it's a good day for me. It really is. And this is probably one of the best days. So my friends, visit WSIBsettlements.com. We've made some really significant changes to the website, the look, some of the functionality, so that it makes it easy for someone to navigate and get what they're looking for quickly, to understand how we function, to get all the information that they need to make a decision so that we can get started in helping you with your claim. And I know that, you know, a lot of organizations say, well, it takes time to get files and to review them and all that kind of stuff. Yes, we know all of that. And we know what all those timelines are. And not only can we meet those timelines, but we can actually make it better. Because a request for reconsideration, providing all of the information is on hand, could be made relatively quickly. And we don't just make a request for reconsideration just for the sake of doing it. We make sure that it has all of the arguments that we believe are necessary, including medical from the Tribunal medical discussion papers, jurisprudence types decisions, and so on, so that we're putting together an argument that either a manager or a director are going to have to look at and pay attention. All right, friends. So it's an exciting time. And of course, for any of those who have questions about any of this that we're doing, you know that you can always reach me at WSIB Joe Machado at WSIBSettlements.com. The address is up here. Visit us at WSIBSettlements.com and learn a little bit more about our LegalPro Connect app, our LegalPro Connect service that I really believe is going to have a huge impact, not only for workers, but also paralegals or lawyers who are looking to expand their practice, to grow their practice in this industry that requires so much help and good resources. We want to be there to put both of you together for the legal providers' benefits and also for the injured workers' benefits. All right, my friends, I'm coming up against next week with another exciting video. We're probably going to go to a two video a week format because there's a lot that I want to talk about over the next few months, looking at tribunal decisions that I believe can have an impact for a lot of the types of cases that are going on today. I'm going to break down some of those decisions and see how they can be of benefit to our viewers, and also to continue to provide good tips for our viewers who may just need a little bit of information to help them get over the hump and get their situation addressed without ever having to require our services and pay any money for it as well. And of course, I set up this channel for that purpose, to help educate injured workers and provide tips and information, good information, so that they can deal with their case. All right, my friends, as always, it's a great time. It's a great time to fight the WSIB, and I love it when I have something like this that's really going to have an impact for you, my friends. All right? And as always, and until the next one, take care.